what I was saying is about the fiber optic instrumentation system. Clear? So the fiber optic instrumentation system is very, very important in laying a communication cable, okay? And that too for internet. So when you look at the fiber optic instrumentation system, we look for different measurements. Starting from, we will measure about the attenuation losses. Basically, we will study about the attenuation losses. So the first kind of measurement will be upon this particular attenuation loss over my fiber optic cable. Okay. Later, we will study about uh, scattering losses. Okay. The second parameter is about scattering losses and the setup required for measuring this scattering loss. Then, after scattering loss, you will study about absorption losses. Okay, so how the setup is going to be designed for fiber absorption measurement. So three different things, starting from attenuation. Second one is going to be scattering losses. Third one is going to be about absorption. Okay, that clear? And the fourth thing, the last one is about the fiber dispersion measurements. So we'll study about what? Fiber dispersion measurements. So I think you can see the topics that is to be presented. Clear? It is before you. So we are going to study four different parameters associated with the fiber optic cabling and how we are going to measure. Okay. So starting from attenuation, we'll get back into scattering, we'll get back into absorption, and the last one is going to be, you know, what it is, right? Starting from scattering, absorption, and the last one is going to be dispersion. Is that clear for everyone? Okay. So these are the topics that we are going to cover. So now, when we start with this attenuation loss, why do we measure this attenuation? The purpose of measuring attenuation. So fiber optic communication requires repeater stations to be present in between. So இது நம்ம வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்லேயே பார்த்துருக்கோம். என்னன்னு புரிஞ்சுட்டு இருப்போம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, நமக்கு வந்து இந்த attenuation losses வந்து will be high in plastic optic fibers, whereas comparatively lesser when we go for glass cablings, right? And in also glass cablings, if we have some different compositions, we could achieve up to 2 dBs per kilometer as a attenuation loss, right? So this is what we have studied in first unit. Now, coming to here, for the measurement of attenuation, the first method what we are going to use will be called as cutback method. Okay. So the repeater stations requirement depends upon the attenuation losses that are going to be taken for the overall length. Okay. So if I happen to have a kilometer cable, I need to understand how much attenuation will take place at each and every distance that it is going to be covered. Clear. So understanding that, I could manipulate the same attenuation loss to that of a larger distance. That clear for everyone? என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னு புரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம வந்து ஒரு கிலோமீட்டர் கேபிளுக்கு உண்டான அட்டெனுவேஷன் நான் கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டேன்னா, I could manipulate the same for longer distance also. ஸோ அப்போ எனக்கு எங்க ரிப்பீட்டர் ஸ்டேஷன்ஸ் தேவைப்படும், எந்த இடத்துல நான் மறுபடியும் அந்த ஆப்டிக் ஃபைபரோடைய ரிப்பீட்டர் ஸ்டேஷனை பொருத்தணும் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து I could understand. Here. So a general communication engineer and who is going to analyze this fiber optic cabling should understand the attenuation loss of that particular fiber optic cable here, and how much attenuation takes place with respect to the distance. Okay. So we are going to start with the first method, that is called as cutback method. Okay. Measurement of attenuation by cutback method. இப்போ இந்த பேரை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு விஷயம் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். Cut back அப்படின்னு இருக்கு. அப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? We are going to make a cut over my cable. இதை மட்டும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. So understand the name first. We are going to have a cut back method. Cut back method now we are going to perform a cut operation over my fiber optic cable. இதை முதல்ல ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Okay. Now look at the diagram. So you see the diagram here. this is going to be a measurement of fiber attenuation, where you have different blocks to be present. The first block is going to be a white light source and a microscopic objective, and after that you can find an interference filter, okay, or a chromator or interference filter. I will tell you in detail what is the function of each and every block. And after interference filter, you can find a chopper to be present. Okay? And later you can find that two beams get separated from the chopper arrangement, and one acts as a reference to the lock-in amplifier, and the other travels. And you can find a different terminology now called as cladding mode stripper. Okay? And you can find that to be present in both input end and output end of the fiber. Okay? Understand the diagram, you will understand the working. Simple. Clear? So you have a light source, a microscopic objective. To get it gets focused, and you have an interference filter. After interference filter, you find a chopper. Okay? From the chopper, you have a two beam diagram, class division of two beams, and one beam gets into the fiber optic cable, where it is accompanied by what? Cladding mode stripper. I will tell you what is the cladding mode stripper is and the purpose of cladding mode stripper. Okay? And one acts as a reference and gets back to the lock-in amplifier. Clear? So this is your overall setup, and the end of the fiber cable is going to be connected again to the detector. From the detector, it reaches the lock-in amplifier. So lock-in amplifier gets two input, one is a reference and another from the detector. Okay, and from lock-in amplifier, it reaches the recorder center. You have any doubts? Any doubts you have? You may ask. So from the block diagram, yes, yes, no. Anyone? Yes. Is that clear? Okay. Now, to understand, I am going to use white light source. So white light source contains all different wavelengths. Okay. So you might come to an understanding that the purpose of the light source is going to be, I am going to have a wide spectrum of wavelength. Clear? And my microscopic objective is going to focus my white light source into that of an interference filter. The purpose of the interference filter or a chromator is going to be a selection of wavelength. Okay? I'm going to select a particular wavelength that is going to be sent. Is that clear? And from interference filter or chromator, you can find a chopper to be present. The purpose of the chopper is to make a pulsed signal. Okay? Pulsed AC signal in terms of a square wave. Okay? Converting my light signal into a pulsed square wave. Understand? And that will be again will get diverged into two beams. One will be reference, and that will be sent directly into the lock-in amplifier, while the other enters the fiber optic cable. Now you can find a cladding mode stripper to be present. So here you need to understand this cladding mode stripper. When you understand the wordings, it is going to strip away my cladding. Okay, so in an optical fiber cable, you all know that core and cladding performs the role of transmitting the light from one end to another. Now, what we are going to do here is, I am going to strip away the cladding. Okay, so by stripping away the cladding, I need to replace it with an refractive index liquid. Okay, I need to replace that with a refractive index liquid nearly equal to that of what? The cladding that is present before. Is that clear? So the thing is, I'm going to clear away this cladding, and instead of cladding, I need to provide another index liquid. Okay, and this liquid will provide me the action of cladding. But when we compare why we need to do this cladding to be taken, I am putting a liquid there with a refractive index greater than that of the cladding. Okay, so the idea is, I have stripped away the cladding which is already present. Instead of the cladding, I am going to put another refractive index liquid, and that refractive index liquid will have greater refractive index than that of your cladding which is already present. So the objective is to avoid the light that pass through the cladding surfaces. So இப்போ cladding இருந்ததுன்னா அந்த cladding மூலமா ஏதாவது ஒரு லைட் ரிமூவ் ஆகிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்புகளை வந்து நம்ம குறைக்கணுன்றதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னா, I have removed this cladding. Instead of that, we have replaced with the matching liquid, which has a greater refractive index value to that of the cladding which is present before already. So, upon the cladding function வந்து இந்த matching liquid perform பண்ணிடும். சரிங்களா? சொன்ன விஷயம் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகே, ஸோ இது பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ண உடனே எனக்கு இந்த லைட் வந்து கிளாடிங்ல போயிட்டு எஸ்கேப் ஆகிறதுக்கான வாய்ப்புகள் குறைஞ்சிரும். தட் இஸ் தி ஐடியா. ஸோ ஆல் மை லைட் டிராவல்ஸ் வித் தி கோர். சிம்பிள். எஸ், கிளியர். ஸோ இப்போ என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, இப்போ நீங்க கட் பேக் மெத்தட்னு பேர் வச்சிருக்கோம் சார், இங்க எங்க கட் பேக் பண்ணிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்பாங்க. ரைட். ஸோ இப்போ இந்த செட்டப்ல what they will analyze is, they will analyze or compare the reference signal with that of the output that is obtained from the detector. Detector இருந்து அந்த அவுட்புட்டையும் reference signal-ஐயும் compare பண்ணி they will generate an output power in terms of an electric signal and it will be recorded. Clear? Now later what they will do is, they will take the same fiber cable and they will cut for 2 meters. What they will do? They will cut for exactly 2 meters. Say for example, now previously they have used 1 kilometer cable for analysis. Okay, this 1 kilometer cable is used for testing. Now what they have to do, from that 1 meter cable I need to cut 2 meter cable and I need to put that to the same procedural response. Okay, and they will analyze the power that is being obtained. Do you understand what I am trying to say? Yes, ஒரு விஷயம் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். The setup is common. இந்த செட்டப்ல இந்த ஃபைபர் மட்டும் மாறப்போகுது, இந்த ஃபைபருடைய லென்த் மாறப்போகுது. எப்படி மாறப்போகுதுன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, இனிஷியலா 1 கிலோமீட்டர் கேபிள் எடுத்துட்டோம் அப்படின்னா, யூஸ்வலி தே டேக் இட் ஆஸ் 1 கிலோமீட்டர் கேபிள். அது 1 கிலோமீட்டர் கேபிள் டெஸ்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் they will put a 2 meter of the same cable. They will cut back the 2 meter from that 1 kilometer cable and put it there, and they will analyze the attenuation and they will record the values. Now they will compare the power output that is obtained before and after. So by analyzing this power output that is obtained before and after, I could come to a conclusion of the attenuation value. So this is for your understanding. Is that clear? Anyone have doubts? Anyone? You have any? Yes, no? Yes? None? Response please. கேக்குதா நான் சொல்ற விஷயம் முதல்ல? Yes, no? Okay, thank you. So எனக்கு ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் தெரிஞ்சாதான் நான் அடுத்த செக்ஷனுக்கு நான் போக முடியும். சரிங்களா? ஸோ இப்போ இங்க ரெண்டு அவுட்புட் பவர் மேட்டர்ஸ். நீங்க சிம்பிளா புரிஞ்சிக்க வேண்டிய விஷயம், you are going to make a comparison between two output powers. Okay, the first power is going to be by directly taking the 1 kilometer cable. Second output power that is going to be obtained is upon the 2 meter cable. Okay, the 2 meter cable that is being cut back. Is that clear? Okay, now when I look at the final response value, I will show you. I will put up a mathematical expression for that. Kindly do wait. Searching for that mathematical expression, it is not visible clearly. So it is down. So I will do. See that the mathematical expression is now clear. Clear? I will. Okay. Now we have the attenuation coefficient before you in the same slide. So alpha of that particular wavelength. So attenuation of that particular wavelength is given by 10 by L. Okay, 10 by L. And you know what the length is. Length is corresponding to that particular fiber optic cabling that we are going to take. PR represents the power output from that 2 meter cable. Do understand, PR represents what? The output power obtained from 2 meter of the fiber. And PL represents the length that we are going to take place. Either it is a 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer, whatever it is, of that particular length, what is the power obtained. So if we make a comparison between, or a ratio between in terms of log, what you obtain is that the attenuation coefficient. Is that clear? Yes? I Everyone? Clear or not? Or do I need to say it again? Clear? So, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So you can find the fiber attenuation for every wavelength from this procedure. Okay, I could select a particular wavelength and I could send that particular wavelength to my fiber optic cable, and I could analyze how the attenuation is present with respect to the particular wavelength also. But the disadvantages when you see, so when I use this cable, when I use this attenuation technique for the cable, what kind of disadvantages do I see? The drawbacks are very simple. This method is a destructive testing one because I need to cut back 2 meters of fiber optic cabling. Okay, so that makes it as a destructive testing method. Here, yes, and this method cannot be utilized to find the fiber attenuation which is working or under working condition. ஒரு ஃபைபர் ஆப்டிக் கேபிள் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க கேபிளுக்கு நான் இந்த டெஸ்ட் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா it is not at all possible. So the drawbacks are two, okay, by using cutback method. One is going to be destructive testing. It is a kind of destructive testing because I need to cut back the fiber optic cable from the whole length. So அப்ப நான் கட் பண்ணி எடுக்கிறதுனால it is a destructive testing. And the second is it cannot be utilized to find the fiber attenuation, okay, for an working link, for an working fiber optic link. Clear? Hope you understand. So advantages, it is very accurate and simple. Advantage is very accurate and simple. You can check for multi-mode fibers, you can check for single mode fibers. Okay, you need to make a slight modification. Instead of having a chromator, you will need to add one more device called mode scrambler. Okay, because I need to inject multiple number of wavelengths into the, or multiple modes of propagation of light into the optical fiber in case of multi-mode. Okay, so that is the understanding of your cutback method. Is it clear for everyone? Yes. Any doubts you have? If you have any, you can post it, or you may unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, so the drawback of this particular technique is nothing but it is a destructive testing. It is going to cause me destructive nature over my fiber optic cable because I need to cut back for testing. Then the second one is I could not find an working link, or when a working link is present, I cannot find attenuation for that. Okay, so what you need to understand is finding an attenuation coefficient is the objective. For that attenuation coefficient, I require two parameters: the power delivered. For that power delivered, I need to have power delivered for 2 meter cable, power delivered for L meter cable. Okay, by comparing those, I could find the attenuation coefficient for that particular wavelength. Clear idea? Okay, now take down this diagram. So take the diagram. Okay, now it might be visible. Take the diagram. After taking the diagram, take the mathematical expression here. Alpha of L equal to n by L log PR of lambda to that of PL by PL of lambda with respect to decibel per kilometer. Here, this is your mathematical expression, and this alpha L is going to be your attenuation coefficient with respect to the particular wavelength. Lambda specifies particular wavelength. Okay, and PR gives us the power output with respect to 2 meter length, and PL gives us the power output with respect to the length we have taken, and L the corresponding length that we are going to subject to the test. Okay, all these are with respect to lambda. Okay, so this completes your measurement of fiber attenuation by using cutback method. Now what we are going to see next is by optical domain reflectometer method, OTDR. Okay, and this OTDR is a non-destructive measurement. The previous disadvantage is going to be rectified by using OTDR, where we are going to have non-destructive testing or non-destructive measurement. Clear? Yes? Okay. So this OTDR is not only for understanding the fiber attenuation, it can or locate the joint losses, it can locate the fault that is going to occur. This OTDR is not only simply for analyzing the overall attenuation that is going to be present in my fiber. It is also implemented for, it can be used for identifying the joint losses and detecting the fault losses that are present in my fiber optic cables. Okay. So when the fiber attenuation varies with the distance, this OTDR is the only instrument which can measure the fiber attenuation all over the optic link. So if I have different fiber attenuations to be present, say for an example, the previous method, if I happen to have an uniform attenuation that is seen, I could go for simply cutback method and that is okay for me. But if I happen to have different fiber attenuation, say for an example, I am connecting two composition of different optical fibers with the different fundamental materials, okay, and I have joined them by using a splicing technique. Now, if I want to analyze that particular fiber for the overall length, then what happens is that I could not employ a cutback method for that purposes because I have two composition of two different optical fibers to be connected together. So for those conditions, if I use a cutback method, it will not be effective enough. So if I go for a OTDR method, it could easily find for that two different cables, even if it is being connected by splicing, fusion splicing. Clear? You understand what I'm trying to say? So this is your serious advantage of what? OTDR. Clear? Yes? No? Answer please. I'm looking for a response. Okay, thank you. So when you look at this OTDR, what kind of setup it is? So we will see about that. Okay, this is your overall setup of your OTDR. So you can now see a difference from the previous setup where they have used a simple light source, white light source, whereas here you will have a pulsed laser. What you see here is a pulsed laser, and from pulsed laser you could find a directional coupler. Okay, and after directional coupler you could find photodetectors, integrator, log amplifier, and a display. Okay, so now you can now see that a fiber cable is present on the right hand side of the directional coupler, and direction coupler is going to focus the light into the fiber, and it is also going to analyze the reflected light from the fiber. Clear? Now you may ask me a question. Sir, இப்போ எப்படி அந்த லைட் வந்து ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் ஆகி பின்னாடி வருது மறுபடியும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, அந்த ஃபைபர் end will be covered with the mirror surface for reflection. Okay, the fiber length will be covered for mirror surface. Even if we don't find any mirror surface or not, we could also find different parameters apart from attenuation. I told you already about the fault location. Okay, the fault losses, splicing losses, that, and also we can find scattering losses also by using an OTDR technique. Okay, now the fundamental basic thing of OTDR's working is very simple. What they are going to do is, it is going to measure loss by using a scatter back method or a reflection back method. So the principle that is going to be utilized by OTDR is nothing but scattering back of the light or reflection back of the light. Okay, due to Rayleigh scattering or that is particle scattering. Okay, due to the presence of any homogeneities or any density variations, you might find Rayleigh scattering to be prominent. And we have discussed that most of the fiber optic cables, the losses are mostly due to what? Rayleigh scattering. That is 96% of the contribution. Clear? So it is going to make use of the scatter slash reflection method. I told you there is going to be a reflection phenomena that is going to be present at the end of the fiber. So that makes the light to reverse back to the source itself. Okay, and by finding the time that is taken for after launching the light and the reflected light to return, and finding the intensity of the light that is being reflected back, I could understand how much the loss has happened with respect to attenuation, or also you can find or locate the fault losses in my fiber optic cable. Clear? So you might have an understanding now. Clear? For OTDR, the basic principle is nothing but scattering and reflection. Okay, I'm going to measure the scattering or scattered light and also the reflected light. Clear? So by understanding the time taken for light to travel after launching and it gets reflected back, and also the intensity that has been obtained, I could come to a conclusion how much attenuation has taken place and where the fault location is. Okay. So I will put you on an example how the fault graph may be obtained. And this is how the output curve will be. So now we have an optical fiber cable in the left hand side and the appropriate reflection loss phenomena curve that is at the right hand side. So you can now see, show you now, the first pulse is from the reflection from the fiber end, clear, at the launching. So the launching shows higher amplitude first of the reflected power. Okay. Then later, the presence of the input coupler will induce me an amplitude, okay, variation. Similarly, if I have any fault location, you can see that the peak is reduced into a flat layer, or you will find a shift in my curve. Okay, and if I have splices to be present, it will correspond to a peak. Similarly, at the end of the fiber, I will obtain what? The final reflection. Okay, at the end of the fiber, I will obtain a peak again. So you can see that wherever splicing ends are present, you will find to have what? Peaks. If I have any fault is to be identified, that will be accompanied by a what? A shift. Okay, and this is your identification from the output curve. Am I clear? Is that visible for everyone? Yes? No? Is that visible? Okay. So இது கொஞ்சம் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறது கொஞ்சம் டஃபா தான் இருக்கும். மறுபடியும் சொல்றேன். You have the working diagram of the OTDR. I'm going to have a pulsed laser. That is the first thing that you need to remember. Okay, and the pulsed laser is going to be coupled with a directional coupler. The purpose of the directional coupler is to focus the light into my fiber. Okay, and the same directional coupler will collect the light from the fiber and it puts into the photodetector. From the photodetector, integrator and log amplifier is your setup which creates that curve. நீங்க வரக்கூடிய இண்டிபெண்டன்ட் சிக்னல்ஸ் லாகரிதமிக் ஸ்கேல்ல மாற்றும் போதோ இன்டகிரேட்டர் மூலமாவோ அது என்னவா மாறிடும், அது ஒரு கர்வா மாறிடும். So the purpose of the integrator and log amplifier is to convert that into a curvy nature in the display or recorder. Clear? So the next diagram, what we have seen, that might have given you the understanding how the reflection from the fiber will be analyzed at each and every point, how the fault law will be seen or fault loss will be seen. If I happen to have one more fault loss and if it is present here, you will find a shift like this. It will have a step shift like this and it will reach. Okay, and this is how it will be. Clear? This is your OTDR method of measuring attenuation. And please do understand, it is not only for measuring attenuation. It can be used for what? Fault identification or fault loss identification. Okay, is that clear for everyone? Yes? No? If you have any doubts, I could say the principle again and the working also. I could re-educate you upon this concept. If you have any doubts. Yes, no, none. Windows தெரியுதா? நான் present பண்ற window தெரியுதா? No answer. Okay. So we have mathematical expressions for that. That we will study in the next class because it is about time. So you need to understand the concepts first on the working of different measurement techniques. So what we have seen so far is the simply about the measurement of attenuation. Measurement of attenuation by cutback method. Okay, this is your cutback method, and we have understood what cutback method is here, and then we went for OTTR. In that OTTR, we have understood how attenuation is measured. Clear? இதுல நம்ம வந்து fault location, joint versus location இது எல்லாமே பண்ண முடியும். இப்போதைக்கு நீங்க புரிஞ்சிக்கிட்ட விஷயம் OTTR or attenuation measurement. And the mathematical expression corresponding to attenuation measurement that I will give you the next class. Clear? இப்போ சொன்னா ஒரு குழப்பம் வரும். இப்போ இங்க பார்க்கக்கூடிய இந்த எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் தான் நம்ம எழுத வேண்டியது. ஓகே, இதான் எழுதணும். Depending upon the backscattered power, and this is your final attenuation mathematical expression. Here, that I will give you the next class. குழப்பம் வேண்டாம், அதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு கான்செப்ட் சொல்லி கொடுத்துறேன். Now we have a diagram corresponding to scattering loss measurement. Okay. Now when you look at the overall setup, you can see that here also a laser is present, a chopper is present again, and lock-in amplifier accompanied by a recorder is also present. So இங்கே laser இருக்கு, chopper இருக்கு, lock-in amplifier இருக்கு, அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கு, recorder இருக்கு. So after chopper you can see a focusing lens, and here you can see the cladding mode stripper to be present again. So the different block that is introduced here is going to be the integrating sphere. So what you see here, this integrating sphere is a different phenomena, and this is going to be the block that is going to measure your scattering losses. Clear? Hope I made this clear for you. So all the other blocks are quite familiar for you. The cladding mode stripper, the index matched liquid, the focusing lens, chopper, lock-in amplifiers, a recorder are all same. The only difference is going to be the integrating sphere, and this integrating sphere is going to collect my scattering losses. How? What kind of materials are going to be used for making this integrating sphere? So integrating sphere will have a multiple number of solar cells. What do we have is multiple number of solar cells. Why do we integrate a solar cell into the sphere, and that to multiple number of solar cells? What is the idea behind? So if I happen to collect scattering of my light, those light rays will trigger these solar cells, will trigger a output current. Okay, depending upon the directional of scattering that is going to take place, and you all know that the scattering will be unidirectional, right? Will happen at any direction. What it can happen at any direction. So if I happen to collect all those light scattering, I need a sphere arrangement which contains a series of circularly arranged solar cells. Okay, you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. So this integrating sphere is a arrangement made like a sphere. Okay, it will be circular in nature. Inside that circular nature, you will find circularly arranged solar cells to be present. Okay, and this solar cells will collect my scattering losses. Okay, அப்போ இன்னொரு கேள்வி கேட்கலாம், அப்போ ஃபைபர் வந்து லீனியரா இருக்குமே, எப்படி அந்த சர்க்குலர் அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் யூட்டிலைஸ் பண்ணும்? அப்போ அதோடைய ஆரம்பிக்கக்கூடிய எண்டோ முடியக்கூடிய இடத்தையும் விட்டுட்டு சுத்தி மற்ற எல்லாமே எப்படி இருக்கும், சர்க்குலரா அரேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்கும் சோலார் செல்ஸ். சரிங்களா? அண்ட் திஸ் இஸ் ஹவ் தி இன்டகிரேட்டிங் ஸ்பியர் வில் பி. ஸோ இப்போ இதை பார்த்த உடனே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐடியா கிடைச்சிருக்கும். how the working will be. I'm going to focus a laser and I will take a reference to an arc-in amplifier. After this, the beam will be focused into the cladding mode stripper, and the purpose of cladding mode stripper also you must know, right? I will remove the cladding to avoid unnecessary lightings that is going to travel over my cladding. So I will make use of a cladding mode stripper to remove that. And to support my core, I will make use of an index matched liquid, okay, which will avoid the unnecessary reflections. And to match the cladding nature, I will put up a index matched liquid. Okay. Now this integrating sphere, if I happen to find any scattering of my light particles to occur in my optical fiber, it will capture that through the solar cells. And those solar cells will be present all over my sphere. Okay. Due to this presence of the solar cells, any directional scattering will be accompanied by what? Will be converted into a specific photon current, and those current will be given into a lock-in amplifier. So you might ask me a question. The reference signal is a light wave, whereas an integrating sphere produces an output current. You should understand that the reference signal which is taken will also be converted into what? Again, a current factor. So that current value and the integrating sphere's current value will be taken as a lock-in amplifier's input. So an amplifier receives an input in terms of an electrical signal. Okay. So இது நம்ம சொல்லலையே அப்படின்னு யோசிக்க வேண்டாம். The reference signal என்னவா மாறிடுமோ will be happen to have an electric current. Okay. So this will also be an electric current, and that too. Is that clear for everyone? Hope I made this clear. Yes? Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Any doubts? Clear. Okay. So the important phenomena is with integrating sphere. That is what you need to understand. Now, okay, now this concept, absorption measurement. So I need to brush up the concepts first so that you will come to an understanding, and then we will discuss in detail about each and every type. Okay. So this fiber absorption measurement. So you have a diagram. This is completely different from all the three different measurements that we have done so far. Right. So when you look at this diagram, you can find the presence of thermocouple, and also you can find two fibers that are held. Okay. So that two fibers are held inside a calorimeter. Okay. And you can find again a cladding mode stripper, objective lens, laser source, etc. and so on. So now this setup is going to work from right hand side to left hand side. So for the diagrams what you have seen is going to start away from left hand and it is going to end at the right hand side or in a closed loop nature. Okay, where the source is going to be present at the left hand side. But for fiber absorption measurement, when you look at the setup, you need to understand that the source is present at the right hand side. Now the light is focused over my fiber optic cable. Okay, and I'm going to have the same cable as dummy fiber which carries no light. Okay, so இந்த diagram பார்த்தோன்னே ஒரு விஷயம் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். Since we use a thermocouple, we have hot junction and cold junction. Here we have cold junction and hot junction. So the dummy fiber is going to correspond to cold junction. Okay. Whereas my fiber under measurement is going to correspond to what? Hot junction. Okay. So this makes arrangement for measuring the absorption. Okay. So whenever a fiber is under absorption, okay, so when I send away some light, what happens? It will absorb the light and it will get heated up. So the heating nature causes the fiber under measurement to become a hot junction. The dummy fiber which doesn't carry any light will be acting as a cold junction. You could ask me a question, why to put a dummy fiber instead of that? We could have a different compensation circuit for that particularly. Okay, can anyone answer me why to put a dummy fiber there as a cold junction? Does anyone have the answer for that? That will be quite interesting. Can anyone say me why to have a dummy fiber for cold junction? Why not another setup? Anyone? Why not we put a simple zero reference junction or a cold bath as a reference junction? Why should we put a dummy fiber there? Any idea? Anyone? Could anyone say me? Yes? No? Is everyone listening? Yes? So I will pinpoint any one of you. Okay. Shivasundar? Yes, very good. Shivasundar? Unmute. Okay. Why to put a dummy fiber there? ஏன் டம்மி ஃபைபர் போடணும்? அதுக்கு பதிலா வேற ஏதாவது கோல்டு ஜங்ஷன் காம்பன்சேஷன் போடலாம் இல்லையா? இல்ல வேற ஒரு ரெஃபரன்ஸ் ஜங்ஷன் போடலாம் இல்லையா? என்ன ரீசனா இருக்கும் சிவசுந்தர்? நோ ஐடியா. சரி, ஓகே, வெரி குட். வேற யாரும் கேட்போம்? வேற யாருக்கா தெரியுமா? சரவணப்பிரியா இருக்கீங்களா? சரவணப்பிரியா?
எஸ் சார்.
சரவணப்பிரியா?
எஸ் சார்.
டக்குன்னு மியூட் பண்ணாதயா?
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
இந்த டம்மி ஃபைபர் எதுக்கு இங்க கொடுக்கணும் கோல்ட் ஜங்ஷனுக்கு? பர்பஸ் என்ன?
நோ ஐடியா சார்.
சரி, இப்போ ஒரு சின்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன், கம்பேர் பண்ணிக்க முடியுதான்னு பாருங்க. ஓகே, so we had studied about strain gauges, right? Yes or no? அதுல டம்மி strain gauges யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம், ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா எல்லாருக்கும்? Why should we put dummy strain gauges? ஒரு வீட் ஸ்டோன்ஸ் பிரிட்ஜ் அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். ஸ்ட்ரெயின் மெஷர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு போகும்போது என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ஆப்போசிட் லெக்ல அதே ஒரு டம்மி ஸ்ட்ரெயின் gauge which is not exposed to any strain or stress will be used. What is the purpose of that? Anyone? Does anyone have the answer? Anyone? Yeah, सबसे काना एक था तुषार गाना, तुषार राजू में तुषार no response. Yes sir, unmute பண்ணு. எப்படி அது லேப்டாப் மைக் டஸ் நாட் ஒர்க் வருது? நாளைக்கு என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? எல்லாரும் ஹெட்செட் வாங்கி மாட்டிக்கிறீங்க. சரியா? வெரி குட்.
சதீஷ்குமார் சார்.
மேடம்
நான் வந்துட்டேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே மேடம், இந்த மட்டும் முடிச்சிடுறேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
நீங்க கவனிங்க, லிசன். இந்த செஷன் முடிய டைம் வந்துச்சு. சொல்ற ஒரு விஷயம் மட்டும் சொல்லிடுறேன், கம்மி பண்ணிடுறேன். ஸோ இங்க வந்து 3 types of measurements பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஓகே, மெஷர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் அட்டென்யூவேஷன். அட்டென்யூவேஷன்ல 2 மெத்தட்ஸ் பார்த்துருக்கோம். என்னென்ன பார்த்துருக்கோம்? cutback method பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஓகே, and then OTDR பார்த்துருச்சு, and that also corresponds to attenuation measurement. Then we went for scattering loss measurement. Okay, scattering loss measurementல இருக்கக்கூடிய அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட் என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம். integrating sphere, that is what matters here. Okay, and then we went for absorption measurement, and here in absorption measurement I told you about the thermocouple, and the passing of light energy will compensate or will introduce what? Heat to be generated. This particular increase in temperature, if I analyze, I could analyze what? Absorption. That is over my fiber. So on fiber நடக்கக்கூடிய light energy transmission ல என்ன நடக்கும்? Heat energy increase இருக்கும், I mean temperature increase இருக்கும் because of absorption. So if I identify the temperature increase, I can understand the absorptions of light rays. Clear? So இத மேற்கொண்டு next classல பார்க்கலாம். Okay, and this completes your class. Answer பண்ணிருக்காரு, right? The dummy fiber may be used as a reference for measurement. Again, நம்ம எப்படின்னா ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸை கொடுத்து பழகிடுச்சு. நான் என்னோட கேள்வி என்னன்னா, ஏன் டம்மி ஃபைபர் அந்த இடத்துல ரெஃபரன்ஸ் வைக்கணும்? அதுதான் கேள்வி. கேள்வியே ஆன்சரா கொடுக்குறாங்க முருகேஸ்வர சுந்தர். Thank you. We will discuss in the next class. Ma'am, Andrew ma'am. இருக்கீங்களா?
நான் எடுத்துக்கிறேன்.
Thank you.
ஓகே, நான்